All right, good morning. The wind is whipping this morning. It's got to be 20 already, and it wasn't supposed to be this high. I think the peak for the day was like 23, and that was later in the day. But here we are. It is what it is. I had made a plan to stick north this time. You know, I don't like to fish the same spots more than a couple of times. So I'm up here in the north. You might recognize this area. I've been in it fairly recently. The last time I was here, I saw quite a few fish. So I'm going to start here because once I get back in here a little ways, I'll have a lot more wind protection. This wind is going to be primarily from the east and southeast today. So I'm going to try to work in ways that will minimize the effect of that wind. But again, you can tell it's blowing hard. So this is going to make it a lot of work today. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. Sometimes, you know, conditions like this turn the bite on. You just never know. And it may not have anything to do with the weather, but sometimes the bite is just on when the weather is bad. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. So wish me luck. Got him. Now, either it's a small fish or he's running right at me. I can't tell yet. But as soon as he turns, I'll get a better feel for it. Well, self-release. He didn't quite make it in the boat, but that was a small trout, probably right at the bottom of the slot would be my guess. There we go. All right. Come on. Redfish. I wish I had put the net together. He's not a big one, but I hate to swing him. There we go. Middle slot fish, so good deal. Oh yeah, he's ready to go already. All right, a little early for the hat camera, but we're gonna go ahead and do it, just in case it's a slow day. So on one of my recent videos, I had a subscriber ask me, how come I don't pause my lure during my topwater retrieves? So the answer is yes, I do pause my lure. But you guys often don't see it because I don't show you the whole retrieve because it can be boring. But usually during a topwater retrieve, I will pause it 2 or 3 times every, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. I'll give a little pause like this, then I'll pick it back up and work it some more, pause again, but again, you guys often don't see that. One, because I'm facing away from you, the rod's in front of me, and a lot of times I cut to the action because there's no sense showing you this slow retrieve over and over again. You don't want to see the whole thing. But the other instance where I pause is if the lure actually gets struck and I know or strongly suspect that it's been struck by the fish but the hooks didn't catch. I will pause it then because then it's like a stunned bait fish. And I usually give it a second or two, and then I'll start working it real slow and erratically, trying to see if I can draw the fish back in. So again, I'm trying to imitate a stun bait fish when that happens. Now, if I get a topwater strike, but it misses the lure completely, I generally don't pause. If anything, I'll even speed up a little bit because I want it to act like a panic bait fish. So the answer to that question is yes, I actually do pause quite often during my topwater retrieves. And there's two situations where I do it. So hopefully you guys find that information helpful. See, that was a perfect example right there. What do we got here? Trout or snook? It might be a snook. Yeah, I think this is a snook. Yeah, again, perfect example. He struck at it, but missed. And yeah, snook. Oh no, came out. All right, well, too bad. That was a pretty nice snook. Not a slot snook, but probably mid-20s. So that was a nice looking snook. Hopefully it comes out on the hat camera. But again, that was a perfect example of what I was just talking about. That fish came up and blasted this lure, and he definitely struck it because he sent it flying, several inches to the right. And I paused it there, and then I gave it a couple of twitches, and as soon as I twitched it, maybe the second time, he blasted it again and got hooked up. But obviously not a good enough hookup to get him in the boat, but still, that definitely demonstrates my point about when to pause and how to do it. So, and considering, yeah, that was a snook, you can see the gill plate has completely frayed that leader right there. So it would probably hold up. I mean, it's 20-pound fluorocarbon, but I'm not going to risk it. We're just going to cut it and try again. Oh, yeah. Feels like a good fish. Oh no, another one came off. Jeez. Okay, I believe this is a trout. Not a big one. He's throwing the barbs. He's down to one. Okay. Whew. I knew if I slowed down I was going to lose him. He was down to one barb. Okay, well, 12-inch trout. Yay, I'm so proud. All right, try this little mirrodine, see what it does. We got enough water depth here that we can throw it a little bit. Let's see if anything takes interest. Ah, wow, they're getting smaller. Oh, that was a fish right there. Got it. See that? Redfish. Nice. Stay on there. I'm gonna lose this fish. He's pulling those barbs. Got him. Got him. Jeez, I got really lucky there. Okay, here we go. 22-inch redfish now. So, pretty happy. And I'll add, this is a spot I have never ever fished before. I've gone by it millions of times. Just didn't ever think to come in here. So, even as long as I've been fishing the lagoon, there are still hundreds, maybe thousands of little coves that I've never fished. I tell you, I wasn't really thinking redfish back in here. I was thinking more trout and snook. You know, big trout love those dead end coves, and snook love to get back in the mangroves like this. So, but redfish certainly works. Nice trout. Put down there. Okay. Oh no. Dang it. Another one. Alright, let's get in here. Okay, now a 22-inch trout. So, day's coming together. I am pretty happy with the day right now. So, I could call it any time, but I'll probably stick it out here a little bit longer. Let's get this guy revived. Huh, he was ready. Oh, funny, huh? Mirrodine. You guys never see me throw these anymore. Used to do it all the time when the lagoon was good. There are certain spots, like George's Bar. I would go down to George's Bar and throw a mirrodine for hours and catch just dozens of trout. So, I just don't do it anymore. There's not really a lot of spots where it's super effective. But clearly I maybe need to rethink that now that the lagoon is starting to recover. Oh shit, oh shit. There we go. Come on, what is he? Okay, what do we got here? Trout, but he's like belly hooked. Let's see what I can do with this. Wow. He just rolled up over that and got himself hooked in the belly, I think. I'm not sure he was ever hooked in the mouth, but I'll tell you in a minute. They dug straight down into that grass there, almost got me fouled in the outboard. Cool. This is a fun little fight. Okay, now a 20-inch trout. So, another good looking fish. Again, this guy, he didn't even get hooked in the mouth. He just kind of rolled over the top of it or under it and managed to get it hooked in the belly. So, he'll be okay though. If he was tore up, I might keep him, but it's only a small puncture. I'm actually going to keep my hands off of him as much as possible and just revive him with the grips, just because, you know, he got that hook in the belly. So, I definitely never fish over here. So, it's just funny. I'm finding fish in all these places I don't fish. So, Well, I think the mirrodine has a lot to do with it too. That's a really good search bait when you have deep enough water. Yeah, I can remember fishing through here like once or twice quite a few years back and wasn't particularly impressed, but like I was saying before, there's so much lagoon. Oh, see? Yeah. That's going to be a slot trout, bottom of the slot. Okay, little 16-inch trout. I am not interested in keeping anything really today unless it's a flounder, a snapper, or a black drum. He went right for it, man. He saw it, he turned, he nosed right down to it, and then took off. Dang, that was so close. Yep, small one. All right, little 10-inch trout. There you go, buddy. All right, I'm back at the ramp, boat's loaded up, ready to hit the road. Ended up being a pretty decent day, surprisingly. With the wind blowing like it was, I thought it was just going to be miserable. And it was to a point, but I did get some more cooperative fish this time. I had, I don't know how many reds, 2, 3, something like that. I think I had another one on that came off. Trout, kind of the same thing. I think I caught 4 or 5, maybe 6 trout. I had a couple that came off. And I had a pretty nice snook too that was on for a little bit and came off. So all in all, not a bad day at all. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, but I still enjoyed it. I'll tell you what truly made the difference was when I switched to throwing a mirror lure. That little mirrodine, that kind of saved the day. I got 1 or 2 smaller fish on a soft plastic. I got a couple on a topwater early, but most of the fish came on that mirrodine. So not a lot of sight casting today. I think the one really good shot that I had, the fish, I mean, he came like that close to eating it. It was so close. I hope it comes out on camera. And just at the very last second, he like took off. He spooked and ran off from it. But other than that, it was pretty much blind casting the whole time. And even so, I did pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with the day for what it was. And we'll do it again soon. So see ya.